good news coming in for a lot of consumers of electric vehicles or prospective consumers and buyers of electric vehicles. Electric vehicles, especially coming out from Tata and MG stable, will now be at par with petrol and diesel. What exactly changed, Kartik?
What changed really, Shweta, was globally there has been a softening of import prices when it comes to the cell chemistry which goes into producing of the lithium-ion batteries. There has been a softening of prices globally, and in addition to that, supply chains which were disrupted first owing to COVID and the lockdowns across the world and China's own zero COVID policy, followed by almost an immediate aftermath came by way of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So supply chains across the world which were disrupted are now seeing some sort of semblance of normalcy, if you can call it that, just as yet, and that is bringing the prices of cell chemistry down. So that cost is a major saving on account of the input cost that goes into production of electric vehicles. Now, with electric vehicles, the important ingredient, almost 50% of the cost, which is the lithium-ion batteries, becoming cheaper by way of input cost reduction, companies are deciding to pass that cost on directly to consumers. So instead of profiteering with very extremely high margins, and instead of profiteering, from the fact that that it is now going to be continuing to make, in addition to high revenue, high profits, it is now reaching a stage where companies are deciding to pass on that cost to customers. Now, look at the overall category, and we keep talking about SUVs and we keep talking about small cars not keeping pace with SUVs. Now that the sub 10 lakh rupee car category is coming down in sales, we are also seeing there has been an addition of as many as 3 electric vehicles which are in the sub 10 lakh rupee category. So you have the data there on your screen. You've got the Tata Punch EV, which has actually been launched at just about 11 lakh rupees. So these are not the kind of price points that we had seen for electric vehicles. The first electric vehicle to launch at a 12 lakh rupee price point was the Tata Nexon, and the Nexon obviously then saw increases in prices. But now that we are seeing with this input cost reduction being passed on to customers, there has been a reduction in the cost of the Tata Nexon. There has been a reduction in the cost of the MG Comet. So the MG Comet now sits beautifully at a 7 lakh rupee range. Obviously, it's a small car. Many would compare it to the Tata Nano, or Europe's famous smart car. Some would also call it a very, very modern auto rickshaw. But that's not me. That is what people on the street are saying. But broadly speaking, there are 3 options now available for customers who want to buy for the sub 10 lakh rupee category, and they have 3 EV options. Leading the race there, of course, is MG Comet and Tata Tiago. But even MG's other bigger cars have seen a massive reduction in prices. MG Gloster, for example, which is a premium SUV by the MG Motors stable, has seen a cost reduction of as much as 4 lakh rupees. So overall, I think for the EV industry, I would not dare to venture into the territory of saying that it is now coming closer to petrol or diesel prices. I think the delta is still fairly large, but there is definitely a reduction in prices, which will make the ownership
cost... a substantial reduction, come to think of it.
I mean, some may call a 70,000
to
rupee,
about 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees.
Yeah, up to 4 lakh rupees. But obviously it's based on the premiumness
size of the car
and the size of the car, right?
The car is,
but broadly, I think the cost of ownership coming down is one part. The other part is that even with just about 2% penetration of electric vehicles in India, I think consumers will start to see that it's not just the one-time upfront cost which becomes lesser, but you will also have a lower running cost per kilometer going forward. And India being a country of kitna deti hai, the mileage obsession that Indians have, I think at some point we will see a very, very natural shift to either electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles. But I think what could spoil the party in the same breath is that the FAME 2 subsidy ends on the 31st of March. And we are sitting today on the 14th of February. There is pretty much no formal word from the government of FAME 3. So is FAME 3 going to come? Is FAME 3 going to be applicable on electric four-wheelers as well? Will that cost subsidy be passed on to users? All that is still in the matter of policy, disclosure, policy making, as the case may be. And FAME 2 definitely coming to an end on the 31st of March would mean that whatever SOPs, whatever benefits the electric mobility community is enjoying right now could gradually perhaps be phased out.
Absolutely. But all in all, the decision from Tata and MG to reduce prices is going to augur well for consumers out there who are hoping to hop on to an electric vehicle, perhaps own one very soon. We don't know whether other players in the market will follow suit, but good news as far as prices of EVs is concerned.